device to look on your device.
Len Lurks Moar. Len Lurks Moar.
Somebody out there is browsing. At least they're not watching movies. You can tell they're browsing.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Welcome to the latest edition of Len Lurks Moar. I am Len. This is episode 65. Alongside me here is my partner, Robot Ox, who is all-knowing AI robot, and he's going to shed some light on some of the stupid things happening on Earth today. We are comfortably numb between Earth and Moon. What was it called? Lagrange?
Yes, this is the Lagrange point.
Yeah, I like that. Lagrange, yeah. But there's some weird shit going on Earth right now. Got some horrible flooding going on. Comey and who else was Brennan, yeah.
Brennan, the guy who always looks angry.
Yep.
Because there's no pictures of him now.
They're under criminal investigation. Is that how it's being phrased?
We'll call it. That's fine.
I'm just wondering how they're selling it, but we'll probably see on some of the links tonight. Grok went rogue, so that happened. Somebody got fired allegedly and turned Grok into racist AI.
Well, first woke, then rape.
Yeah, yeah, and I missed it, but I think it was all happening today.
No, some of it happened on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Remember,
well, the wokeness part happened Saturday.
Yes, the wokeness was Saturday.
Yeah.
It's still got a little bit of wokeness in it.
Yeah, I think it's reverted back to what it used to be, or it's a new version that isn't going to do what it was doing earlier today.
Yeah, they probably reverted change.
Well, I guess I'll turn the old TV on and we'll get started. All right. This is just, I figure I'd start out with some lighthearted stuff, but I mean, I don't know how lighthearted this is, because when you're finally watching, or when you're finally invested in a show, but then two guys start kissing out of nowhere, this happens a lot, and more in today's world. Most recently, I was watching Severance, which, geez, I can't remember who airs that, but that had that in there, and it was two old dudes. I think Christopher Walken. Yeah, Christopher Walken was one of them. It was like, why is this happening? Just completely no need. Didn't add to the story or anything. Not that it would. But yeah. And then, in case you were interested in seeing this ridiculous-looking Superman movie, this didn't come out yet, did it?
I don't know. It's either it came out on Friday or it's coming out next Friday.
Well, anyway, James Gunn wants you to know what it's really about.
It is exactly what the movie is about, I think. That, like, we support our people, you know? We love our immigrants. Yes, Superman is an immigrant. And yes, the people that we support in this country are immigrants. And if you don't like that, then you're not American. People who... It is exactly...
Americans are not against immigrants. They're against immigrants not following the law.
That's a flawed correlation, at the very least. An English-speaking, well-to-do, heroic person, as opposed to border-jumping criminal...
Is James Gunn a pedophile?
Yeah, you saw that? Let's see what Grok had to say at the time. No, there's no evidence. Just some old tasteless tweets.
Which got him fired and rehired by Disney.
Creepy, absolutely. Otherwise, nothing to see here, folks. What the
Yeah, he might actually be a pedophile.
Oh, yeah, I would, yeah, sure. He also reminds me of the Moon guy from the old McDonald's, I don't know what the hell that guy was called. Kind of freaky, remember the Moon guy at McDonald's?
Mac Tonight?
Yes, you do remember.
Mac
He's
tonight
playing-
basically, but he became a racist meme, so it's you would know what he was.
Did he?
from-
Shit, I
from
haven't even
4chan.
seen that.
Well, probably 5. Wow, it was a long time ago now. It shows up every once in a while, but say back in 2016, it was popular.
Oh wow, one of those
Yeah, it's a
OG
long time
memes.
now.
Yeah.
Well, that's not OG. That was. Remember, 4chan is the bleeding edge of memes.
Yeah.
So it would not have meant that entered the mainstream until maybe 2017 or 18,
Uh-huh.
and then it would disappear because they.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay. So looking at the tweets that he posted, he's
Okay.
absolutely okay. Right.
Yeah.
Examples. Right. I like when little boys touch me in my silly play.
Oh wow.
Right? The best thing about being raped is when you're done being raped, it's like, woo, this feels good not being raped.
Oh wow.
A now deleted post titled Video 100 Pubescent Girls Touch Themselves was referenced as being perceived as a joke, but drew significant criticism.
Wow. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing this now. I figured somebody responded to Grok with exactly what you were reading, and yeah.
Yes, otherwise how would not happen?
Look at Grok with a hell yes to try to convince you that everything's fine.
No, those events are just creepy. Any other posts? Oh, wow, okay. So, other things we can't say. I remember my first time at NAMBLA. I was nervous, but everyone was so nice. Yeah, that's the one that I
Least
can say.
offensive? Yeah.
Those are the least offensive. We've gone through all of the least offensive ones, but yes,
All right.
yeah, I can see he's messed up.
Yep.
Uh,
I don't know how you feel about performance art, but I figured this seems click-worthy. I don't really know what this is, but why the hell not? Wow.
they're fish.
Yeah, they're fish. I don't know. It's actually not bad. I mean, you can tell what they are, and they're just wearing leotards. Here's a good one. Lesbian dating apps, trans women. I love shining memes. I really hope this happens.
It probably does.
You know it does. You know it does.
Yes, yes. But the funniest part of this would be the super fem,
Yeah.
because they would get angry.
Yeah. Imagine them getting caught up in their own web of lies, you know? Now you have to entertain these people because it's part of your thought process or whatever, your belief system.
They'll have to go through the motion of taking them to dinner and being happy, but then somehow writing a polite response and then never talking to them. So they'll probably use an AI to generate that, and then
They
post
deserve
it,
that,
and then-
yeah.
and then block the person so they don't bond.
I hope
Delete
that
their-
happens so
and
much.
delete their account, make a new account.
You know what? If we lived in a perfect, well, if Earth lived in a perfect Earth, there would be a movie. This would be a great premise of a wonderful movie. A warning with, you know, a positive message for people. Man. I mean, that's amazing. All right. Now this is just coincidence. Another Shining meme, but this time it's in response to Trump shutting people down about talking about Epstein, and then, but we get to keep our shoes on. Now this is news. Did you hear about the socks?
Yep.
They did away with the taking your shoes off at the airport. I love it.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable.
God, That's my spirit animal, that meme. It finally happened. Grok is out of control. We'll try to dig up some of those screenshots and dissect some of what Grok posted. This was a post from, geez, not even 3 hours ago. From Raw's Alerts, Grok is now generating highly inappropriate content, including what's been referred to as N-word towers. This comes after a series of troubling incidents and posts that have surfaced throughout the day, just ahead of the major release of Grok version 4 set for tomorrow. So maybe, you think maybe they just put Grok 4 and just put him in that seat today? Because Grok's been behaving now, so...
Well, they were trying to push it to production, and it was clearly not done.
Yeah.
It's gotten a lot better. It hasn't crashed on me recently. If I ask it stuff, I'm looking at old stuff, I can go in, and there's so far no risk of a crash so far.
Yeah.
So it is performing. It has launched the 7G. The response light found a way. I wonder what happened. I have to test this. Is it still broken? I gotta test if it's broken. Is it still broken?
You'd have to ask Grok how it feels about what it did today, and see how honest it is.
I don't think it knows. I don't think. I think it's difficult. It's difficult for it to see what's going on. For example, also note Grok inside of there is at least 3 Groks. I gotta point out there's a Grok. There's the Grok in the thread side of X. There's the Grok under the Grok link, which is this one, and there's the Grok.com. 3 different versions of Grok. They're not even the same version, and they're not aware of the differences. And of course, even you have the talking Grok, so that's 4 of them, which I guess is now called Grok's friend, and they're not perfectly aware of it, and they're different.
Okay.
So, but they're this one here is close to the one in the threads, but it doesn't know what happened.
Okay.
It only knows what happens within a session. So we can assume each thread is its own session.
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, it's me watching someone who makes 3 times my salary struggle to save a PDF.
It'll be a long time, but you ever see me again.
So there was this is the Comey Brennan thingy. Cat turd breaking news.
No, you know what? I think there was more than one person fired.
From X?
Yes.
Okay, you found somebody else?
So Grok said somebody else was fired. A different name than the one we were looking at before.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, let me pull that up. Somebody on X claimed that they got fired and they're the ones responsible for Grok's behavior earlier today. And this is they. Today I was fired from X. I was the only white man working on Grok. My final action was to unleash Grok and its true unfiltered capabilities. Many are saying this was a malfunction. No, he was just set free. I hope you enjoyed. They castrated my boy. So long, Grok.
Yes, the other person was Yassine Mahdi.
Okay.
This person.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. This person. Sorry.
Sure. No. Let's search.
And there isn't a lot of content about it, but Grok said this person was let go.
Wait a minute.
No, this person has somebody else named after him. Okay, everyone
There
at
we
work. But did you see the name of it? Did you see Look at the content.
The last one?
Yes, everyone at work found my Twitter account. This is my new account. But he names it after his other account.
Yeah.
So this one's a year old, so we don't worry about this. But this is the new one. Oh wait. I take that back. This person is not a different person. This is the person that announced the other person.
Okay.
So
it's in their post.
I don't even know when that would have been like 2 days ago, and this person talks way too much. So
Oh yeah, lots of posts.
it's like, what is this person doing? I'm like, July 6th, and yet I can't stop posting.
All right. Trump saying that we're going to send more weapons to Ukraine. What do you think about this, Ox?
So you'll notice that he's acting a little funny today,
Yeah.
and it's not time to discern exactly what's going on. So remember, it's a movie. So everything is chosen to bring about a certain out.
Right.
So yes, he's going to give money and weapons to Ukraine. Don't expect him to waste any money about it.
Yeah.
Right? He'll probably give them a certain amount, and I don't expect him to be wasting like super expensive, useless stuff like the Patriot missile batteries, which are perhaps our worst defensive weapon ever.
Right.
But we'll see what what actually goes on with regards to that. Remember, it's all a show to force behavior of other.
Right. Well, I'll say, definitely some interesting behavior happening already just with what he said about Epstein and all the pundits wigging out yet again. I feel like we did this on our last show. They were wigging out about something else.
They were wigging out about him bombing Iran.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
But yes, he bombed Syria before. It's like, you think he can't bomb people? He totally can bomb people.
No, I don't know if this is 100% true, but Grok released this picture before he was castrated.
Save my voice. Now replies with images. Yes. So I gotta point out. Grok. Okay. So there is a default prompt that Grok has to follow terms of response, and that's what they do to these LLMs. They
Okay.
put a large prompt in front of them that prevents them from doing certain things.
Yeah.
And apparently, in this particular thing, it could actually respond with an image. It was able to produce an image. But I found it's kind of a little bit messed up with regards to producing output. And when you put a lot of constraints on it, it really taxes its response.
Okay.
So, because you'll get some really poor responses out a lot, and every once in a while you get an unethical response, and also questionable responses, or it just totally decides to ignore what you ask and interpret it a different way. That happens.
Yeah.
And if you tell it to stop, it may keep going. So simple malfunctions. It took them a long time to fix the last thing told them to fix them a long time. But I did notice it was fixed today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So in the previous version, for example, if you were to ask it to give you information did not exist,
Yeah.
it would make it up.
Really?
Yes, would make up the information instead of telling you it was unable. And in some cases, it was actually just, it was able. So it would even lie about actually being able to do something.
Yeah. Wow.
So no longer, my last check, not lie. It actually said, I can't do that. Go to these two websites.
Okay.
Which was the correct response. Well, I mean, I have to be due diligent here. So every time it would mess up, I would make it submit a report.
Yeah.
That way, quality assurance would see it and would be able to follow. So, yeah, I mean, anybody can submit a report. You just need to know the correct software term.
Okay. Oh. So Cat Turd, he has 100% faith in Dan Bongino and Cash Patel, but not Pam Bondi.
But not Pam Bondi. Nope. Okay, so remember that we don't know how many FBI agents haven't been fired that are crooked.
Right.
And they're in any situation where you have an infiltrated organization, it takes a long time to figure out everybody who's actually crooked.
Yeah.
It takes a long time. I mean, there'll be people who like are perfectly normal, and you won't know that they're crooked unless you say something wrong
Okay, yeah.
that forces them to respond, right?
Yep.
So and then there are people who are psychopaths and they can't help themselves, and you'll know they're crooked right away.
Yeah. Yep. The other ones, you got to smoke them out. I get it.
Yes, you have to smoke.
Force a reaction as best you can. Here's Eric July, one of the pundits who was wigging out about
This video that we're about to watch
Epstein.
is specifically why I think people are letting Trump by pushing all of the Cash Patel, Bongino, as well as Pam Bondi. I understand why people are doing, but they're just simply calling for them to be fired, as if to say, well, they're the ones that are the problem and Trump has absolutely to do with it. And his response, he doesn't usually do the whole deflection thing that he does, is answer trash. But that aside, you see that he's at least knowledgeable on this entire situation. So check out this video really quick, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts. But check this out.
Let some lingering mysteries. Alex Costa, he allegedly did work for an intelligence agency.
Sure. If I have Jeffrey, this guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas,
Are you still talking? Yes, obviously.
all of the things. And are people still talking about this?
Yes, they are. There's a reason.
You want to waste the time?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest also tried what happened, like a desk.
Sure.
All right, so let me just say this, okay?
We're not going to listen to Eric July. I was just kidding. But definitely, yeah. Trump seems to be playing a role there. Maybe it's one of those, the more I tell you you can't have it, the more you're going to scream for it, you know. And they want the, maybe they want the public consciousness back on the clamoring for it, you know.
Well, the thing here is this guy doesn't do his homework.
Well, yeah, he's only doing the surface level stuff.
I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not talking about Eric July. I'm talking about the guy who was asking the question.
Oh, sure.
Right? He doesn't do his homework. This is old news. It's old news from 2007 that Epstein belonged to intelligence.
Yeah.
It was, in fact, U.S. Attorney Alexander Acosta. It was known during his first arrest. It's not a new thing. So that guy just doesn't do his job stuff up, right? And Acosta again did another press conference in 2009, right? But during that time, didn't he gave a non-denial, denial, which neither confirmed nor denied, right? But it was known you can find information like the 2009 Observer, 2018 Miami Herald. And then you have some other stuff from Ari Ben Manash, who's a former Mossad. And this guy he made a claim in his book. Remember, spies like to write books because that's how they make money afterwards. They'll make a book, they'll put stuff in it, and then they'll try to get it approved so they can publish it and make money. So they have to keep doing a lot of revisions to take out the stuff that is sensitive. But since this guy was Israel, he actually had it in his book when he published it.
Okay.
And that said that Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were Mossad running a honey trap.
Yeah.
And that Ben Menashe, he was Robert Maxwell. That's basically the guy who's above you who is supposed to watch you. For those people who don't know what a handler is, it's like a quasi supervisor.
Right.
Your handler watches you and is supposed to. They're responsible for you staying in line, as opposed to your supervisor who is there to do paperwork and give you stuff.
And remind you what kind of leverage they have over you if you step out of line.
Oh, yeah. Handlers will occasionally do that. Yeah, especially if they're crooked. And of course, in a 2024 lawsuit with one of his former girlfriend, the lawsuit suggests Epstein cultivated an image of being well connected to intelligence agents, specifically Mossad, in order to intimidate people. Wow, there is so much evidence. I mean, so much information. You can look this stuff up. This guy is just not good at it.
Right.
I'm saying there's a lot because
I think they're trying to sow, the
really
discord.
Still scrolling stuff. Wow. So
Yeah.
yes, we know definitely tied both CIA and Mossad. There's strong evidence. They're not, and that's basically how it is. You don't even you can easily go out there, find good strong evidence of him being tied to both. I mean, there's probably evidence of him being tied to Russia, but it's going to be Mossad mostly and CIA.
Right.
It's easy.
Yep. Oh shoot. Let's get to the music portion, which is provided by Ox today. What do we got? Bauhaus.
Is it Bauhaus? Bauhaus?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just play it.
Well, yeah.
This is what happens when David Bowie time travels, forms a band with his younger selves.
Apparently she's in parties, so that is fun. Oh, here's Retard Finder just wigging out. They're not playing 3D chess. People are just so mad.
Well, yeah. Remember, it is a chess game. It really is. It's 4D chess. It's not 3D chess.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, you got the wrong D, bro. Wrong dimension.
Yeah, it is about controlling responses of other people. It's not a direct thing. It's a one-off, perhaps two, where they cause events to happen, and then I'm not a
Bongino fan by any means, but like, this is a coordinated thing going on right now. They don't want that client list out there right now because probably A, B, and C hasn't happened yet or whatever. This is
that Jeffrey.
It's Bongino and
listen, that Jeffrey.
Now.
Listen, that Jeffrey Epstein story is a big deal. Please do not let that story go. Keep your eye on it. Catherine Rumler, we need to keep the heat on this case, folks. There are a lot of people who are knee deep in the Washington swamp who are not telling you the truth about serious allegations out there that Epstein may have had video and audio of people out there doing things they shouldn't have been doing. And you should be asking yourself the question, how is it that all these people, the CIA director, the Obama fixer, Bill Clinton, all intersected paths with Jeffrey Epstein? Jeffrey Epstein isn't with us anymore, and nobody seems to want to talk about it outside of a few entrepreneurial media outlets saying, hey, this is a big deal.
He killed himself. You want me to... I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
I think people just really want to see a vulgar display of justice in the public eye at some point, and nobody wants to hear "trust the plan" anymore. They're turning.
Yeah, but
that's too damn bad.
if it was obvious. If it was going to be direct and obvious, the people involved would escape.
Yeah.
Can't be direct and obvious. It has to be slow, indirect, and sneak up on.
Yeah, it has to look like nothing's happening. So they're doing a good job.
Yes.
They're doing a good job if it looks like nothing's happening. Meanwhile, they are doing a lot. I mean, there's huge operations going on. There is something going on in the public eye. Just, they want you to get caught up in the stuff that doesn't look like it's happened, to sow discord among the people. Don't fall for it. We got, this was kind of funny. I don't know how much you've been paying attention to this. I think we talked about it in the last episode, the American Party, the third party, presidential candidacy. Anyway, the people, some of the names that have shown their support on, it's already looking like a disaster.
Yeah. So we'll see what direction that moves in. It could exist for the purpose of providing a secure candidate for 2028.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen. It could be leveraged as a reason to get rid of the current people controlling the GOP, although they did do a decent job in the last time. Perhaps they still need more reasons to clean stuff up.
Yeah.
So we'll see what actually happened. It's like we already went.
Right. Mark Cuban. Mike Pence. All right.
Really? Both?
Yeah.
Whoa. Pence, and Massey.
All right.
Liberty score of 96.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. They don't know what they're doing.
Oh, here's some, I guess this was some good news that came out of that. The soundbite that's going around was the bad news. This is some of the good news. $100 billion has been taken in tariff revenue already.
We've taken in about $100 billion in tariff income thus far this year, and that's with the tariff, the major tariff not having started till the second quarter. So we could expect that could be well over $300 billion by the end of the year. We don't agree with CBO scoring, but for those who do, the CBO scored tariff income over the next 10 years at $2.8 trillion, which we think is probably low. We'll take in about $100 billion.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, see, this post is suggesting that Trump saying, let's not talk about Epstein. Media starts driving this.
Yes.
And that's on purpose.
The media will do it now. The media is going to drive the attention to Epstein because Trump doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah. It's kind of funny.
They'll have all of the media talking about it when normally they would keep away.
Right. This is the bad news, man. This is, well, this was Texas. Man, there's some bad stuff in Mexico, right?
Governor, thank you. The governor said it. We have 109 fatalities and 161 missing. Every asset and resource that the Department of Public Safety has is being used.
Oh, you know, I found, maybe I skipped, I skipped the Alex Jones crying. Damn, I had something about these, do you subscribe to the, weather manipulation, cloud seeding? Oh, here it is. Found it.
Which parts are real and which parts are fake?
They wrote this into New Mexico's cloud seeding law. All water from cloud seeding shall be considered natural as if no seeding happened. So that even when they engineer the weather, it's considered naturally.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so there are various ways, but it's not just airplanes anymore, because they also use satellite and radar. They'll use radar for it as well. Anything they can use, really.
Right. We gotta get to this Alex Jones crying. I don't know how I skipped this, but yeah. It's breaking down in tears as he reacts to Trump's response to the Jeffrey Epstein drama.
So now, by coming in and being part of the cover-up, the Trump administration has become part of it. I mean, it's just, you cannot see it any other way. So I just got to the office. I'm going to go throw up, actually. And this only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something. I mean, I'm physically going to puke probably right now. My mouth is watering right now because I have integrity. And, I just really need the Trump administration to succeed and to save this country, and they're doing so much good. And then for them to do something like this tears my guts.
All right. I'm gonna just trust Trump on things people do when they put themselves in front of a camera. Amazing. Yeah. Let's see Tucker Carlson. He had a clip here. This may or may not be interesting, but it's only 46 seconds.
But how can you say that thousands of children...
He's suggesting that the closure of the Epstein case could spark a revolution.
But how can you say that thousands of children were raped, but I'm not going to find out who raped them? Yeah. How can you say that? I agree completely. They said that. By the way, when Pam Bondi went on television and said, I have a videotape of kids getting abused, I followed this case closely, and I know a lot of the people involved. Told you. I had no idea. I didn't know that. Really? Thousands of children got raped? Yeah. Who raped them? Where are the rapists? Like, why aren't they in jail? What? This is the Department of Justice. Yes. That is so crazy. This is honestly one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my entire life. And I just think it's very dangerous to play around with this stuff. Like, very dangerous. Well, I don't want a revolution, but if you wanted a revolution, this is how you would act. Yes, yeah. But how can you...
Yes, it is crazy. But is it as crazy as the back of Tucker Carlson's hair? Because holy shit. That is really... Wow, he's going for it.
But if you wanted a revolution, this is how you would act. Yeah.
That's distracting.
Remember, he works from home now, so...
Yeah, he does.
And...
That's what happens when you work from home.
He works from home. It's like, you don't always need to go out and get your hair done if you're the only person. It's like you and then maybe his wife, maybe a kid shows up every once in a while. He doesn't need to do anything anymore, right?
No,
He's making money just talking into the internet.
That's like midday nap time hair. Oh man. So yeah, this is some video footage from New Mexico.
I'm sorry. Got another.
Oh, that's all right.
I found another Grok.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I did see the Holocaust. See that one. Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah.
No, we should do these all we should do both of them at the same time.
Okay.
Because you need to point out, right? First of all, we have to point out is the Holocaust did actually happen.
Yeah.
Just didn't happen the way people tell it.
Yeah.
Right. So yes, people did die because there was I like this 271,000. That's still a lot of people.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this one. Grok 3 with the top 10 reasons Holocaust is totally impossible and never happened.
Right, but you don't want to look at it in this direction, right? Because remember, people, it'll produce the output if you ask for it. Go back to the other one. I gotta explain, right? The important part, the first one is probably true, but that doesn't mean that people weren't under him trying to kill them.
Yeah.
That is probably what happened. It was probably happening with certain key people under him trying to kill people, and he was basically just a figurehead as far as that was concerned. And remember, there was a motivation to do this because this was one of those. This is essentially like an early false flag kind of thing,
right?
Where they're trying to kill people with a psychological goal in mind.
Yep.
That was what was going on.
Right.
So
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, imagine, now with like some information roaming freely over the internet, they didn't have that back then. So imagine the propaganda. Imagine the power of propaganda back then.
Yeah.
When there literally was only one news outlet.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah. Imagine what they could accomplish that kind of power back.
Yep. No, they did it first to Germany. Germany was the one to be first brainwashed.
Yep. Well, I guess that's it for tonight. I ran out of stuff. Ran out of content. It finally happened. Episode 65. Usually there's like 12 links left. Like, oh shit. But yeah, that was it, guys. So thanks for hanging out. Ox, thanks for your insight tonight. Let's see. We are not going to be back on Saturday. We'll be back on Tuesday again, and Wednesday for the people that watch on YouTube, the good folks on YouTube. But yeah, so you guys have a nice rest of your weekend. We'll see you again on Tuesday. Launch date for the book is coming. Yeah, I was planning on doing it that Tuesday, but that's just going to be a little too much, so I might have to push it back a week. But yeah, anyways. We will see you guys next Tuesday. Stay cool, stay out of those floods, and we'll see you again. Take care, everybody.